Unfortunately, in the county, we've experienced over the past about 2.5 years an increase in our pedestrian fatalities. In 2017, we had 8, and in 2018, we saw that rise to 9. You know, obviously before, law enforcement really wants to delve into the enforcement side of things, we're going to try our best to at least do the education piece, this being one of them. We've titled this, to watch your step. It just kind of makes sense that, it would fit in this particular type of a campaign where we're telling the pedestrians to, watch your step, watch where you're walking, watch where you're crossing at, making sure you're safe when you're doing so. When we talk about distracted walking, that kind of coincides with obviously distracted driving. The distractions are the same, where people will have primarily it's their cell phones, they'll have their earbuds in, or they'll have their head down and looking at whatever device it is. Even when they're crossing the street, they're looking down texting, or they're reading something from their device, and that in and of itself is distracted. Just the same way it is when people are driving vehicles. From the pedestrian, obviously what we want the pedestrian to try to find a marked crosswalk, that's the first and foremost. Just somewhere where cars have to come to a stop. One of the other pieces that we talk about with pedestrians is when they're walking on the side of the road. If sidewalks are available, we want you on the sidewalks. We talk about clothing, light colored clothing, reflective clothing, something along those lines that will just illuminate them a little bit better. From the driver point of view, obviously, we always teach that you're supposed to be scanning your surrounding area at all times when you're driving. You have to watch for the pedestrians. The drivers have to be mindful of where pedestrians are, where they cross at, where they're allowed to cross at, and they just have to keep their eyes open and scanning the area. Obviously, we want them to cross at a crosswalk or an intersection. We want them to walk facing traffic. We want them to be paying attention, make sure they're wearing the proper clothing that they're supposed to be wearing, and that just knowing your surroundings at all times is probably the biggest key.